on the Zoom. So guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. You have now made it to our Cartagena, Colombia getaway. All right. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. Again, tonight we're going to talk all about the Cartagena getaway, all about Cartagena, Colombia. All right. That's Colombia with an O, not a U. All right. So let's go. The itinerary, the registration process, and then any FAQs that you may have. All right. So make sure you don't leave here without getting all of your questions answered because that's what we're here for. We're here to make sure you get your questions answered tonight. So let's talk about us, right? We are A. Brown Planning. Our purpose is to help as many people see this beautiful world as possible. God has made beautiful landscapes all across the world, and we want to just help you see it. All right, we specialize in curating unique experiences. We specialize in group travel. So we started off in the Caribbean, but now we've expanded. Greece, Dubai, Ghana, South Africa, we're expanding our reach, guys, because there's so much more to this world than the Caribbean. But we got to start someplace, right? So that's why we are going to South America. So our goal is to make sure that you have a stress-free experience. Let add one less thing to your list. We want to make sure that you're happy, okay? Guys, you have a lot going on between work, your household, the kids, relationships, just your regular stress. We don't want to add to that. Your vacation should be stress-free. So our goal is again to make you happy and take one less thing that you have to do off your plate. So the ultimate goal is for you to be able to pack and go. All right. Because that's what the vacation should be. Just pack and go. So you're probably wondering, who am I? Well, I'm glad that you asked. All right. My name is April. Again, I am the founder and CEO of A. Brown Planning. I am a HBCU graduate. I have a background in corporate accounting. I've been an event planner, even a voiceover actor, and a formal model. But that was like back in the day. But not only that, I'm a friend, I'm a sister, I have two brothers, older and a younger brother. I am the middle child. So if anybody's a middle child, let me know in the chat. I'm also obviously a daughter and I'm an auntie. I have two nieces, I have two nephews and one niece. And the nephew, my oldest nephew, just started to hit teenage years. He's in high school. Oh my goodness, y'all. That's something else. I wasn't ready for it. He's growing up way too fast. All right. But also, I just like to have fun, right? I like to go hiking. Now, I'm not going to say that I can go white water rafting again, but the one time was enough for me, but it was a good time. All right. Just being in the middle of Times Square, all of this stuff, just having a good time, guys. So, how did I get started in travel? It's a very simple conversation. I had a conversation with my dad. At the time, I was working three jobs. Yeah, you heard me right. Three jobs. I had a job, I had my daytime job, which paid all the bills. I had an evening job, which that was my play money. Then I had a weekend job with Sally Mae. So if anybody know who Sally Mae is, you know what I'm talking about. So I remember having a conversation with my dad, and he was like, okay, April, why are you working so much? To me, I thought it was a silly question. Like, what do you mean? I got bills to pay. I got things to do. But he was like, let me rephrase it. Or let me just say this. Why are you working so much? Because you don't have an expensive bag collection. You don't own a lot of shoes. You don't have a luxury vehicle. What I'm trying to say is that I don't want you to get so accustomed to working where you're going to wake up 20 years from now and realize the only thing that you've done in your life is work. Now, at that time, it didn't sink in. It took about a good 2 weeks before that really sunk in. And when I thought about it, I was like, wow, what do I want to do? And the first thing that came to mind was travel. I started traveling like crazy. I was like, you know what? I want to see the world. I want to be able to do things. So that's what happened. I started traveling. And then when I started traveling, my friends were like, hey, how come you're traveling without me? So I was like, all right, well, let's start going together. So, guys, I started a travel business and I've been hosting group trips since 2017. So, here are just a few pictures in Jamaica, in Cuba, in Greece, us at the Usher concert. I think one of them is Dominican Republic. Guys, we're just out here having a good time, trying to see the world. And, I'm taking you guys with me as we do it. So what are my clients saying? One person, Miss Rebecca says, I just got back from an amazing trip planned by A Brown Planning. I 100% highly recommend. The professionalism, the compassion throughout my whole trip was top notch. I was able to enjoy my trip stress-free, knowing that A Brown Planning had everything under control. I truly had nothing to worry about except to enjoy the time of my life. And then Crystal says, April did an amazing job. It was my first time traveling with the group out of the country. I was truly prepared because of her. I felt completely safe. There was never a dull moment. Thank you, A Brown Planning. So thank you guys.
Good day, everyone.
I'm sorry?
Good day. This is Leonard Collins.
Hey, Leonard. So yeah. So now let's get to why you guys are here. Let's talk about Cartagena, Colombia. All right, let's talk about this beautiful country with the this beautiful country with vibrant colors. And it's truly an unforgettable experience, guys. Just imagine strolling through your cobblestone streets with the colorful colonial buildings. Prepare yourself because the beaches are absolutely amazing. Okay, well, let's talk about it. Where exactly is Colombia? It is in South America. So as you can see here on the map, it borders Venezuela. It's at the top of Brazil, right next to Ecuador, and at the bottom of Panama. So Cartagena is on the northern end of Colombia, and it's on the coast. So that's why we're going to get to experience some beautiful beaches while we're there. All right. So now that we know exactly where we're going in South America, let's talk about it. All right. What's included in this beautiful trip? All right. It's 5 days, 4 nights. You're going to have round trip transportation to and from the airport in Cartagena. We're going to have a meet and greet so you can meet all of the beautiful travelers. I did a nice little swag bag with some nice things in it. I can't tell you what that is. And then you'll have some time at the pool. And of course, you'll have multiple activities because I want to make sure you get to see and do the things in Cartagena, Colombia. So where we're going to be staying at, April? You're going to be staying at the Hyatt Regency Hotel. The Hyatt Regency is in Boca Grande. Boca Grande is about 5 to 7 minute taxi ride from the walled city, but also it's right there on the coast. So you're going to have beautiful ocean views. And if you want to, you can even walk down. It's literally across the street from the beach, right? So you can just walk across. One reason why I love this particular property in Boca Grande, there are eateries everywhere. So if you want to go and have dining outside of the hotel, you can literally walk next door and do that. Directly next door on the left-hand side of the hotel is a shopping mall. When you walk inside of the shopping mall, that first level are 2 banks, 3 currency exchange, 1 Western Union, and a strip of ATMs. All right. So you won't have to worry about going far to exchange your dollars because it's literally right there, 21 steps out the front door of the Hyatt hotel. And then the mall itself, I believe, has 3 to 4 stories of different shopping. So if you left anything, you can get it. If you need to get a new outfit, you can get it. A new swimsuit, you can definitely get it. Or even if you just want to go over there for the food court, you can definitely do that too. Now, in the back of the Hyatt Regency is a grocery store. How do I know all this? Because I've been there multiple times. In the back of it is a grocery store. So if you're looking for any midnight snacks or just any bottled waters, so you can have for your room, is right there. You can even go down, like I said, when you're walking down to some of the shops, there's gas stations, there's shops. There's different places that you can eat, all within walking distance of Boca Grande. Excuse me, all of within walking distance of the hotel within Boca Grande. And again, if you want to get to the Wall City, it is a 5 to 7 minute taxi ride. That taxi ride is going to cost you about 12,000 pesos, Colombian pesos, which it, depending on the exchange rate, can be anywhere between $4 and $5. So check-in time is going to be at 3 p.m. The latest that they're going to check in is at midnight. But obviously, if you have any issues with your flight, please contact me ahead of time. Let me know so I can make sure that they know that you're still coming and you're not a no call, no show. This place has 3 pools, 2 of which are infinity pools. They have on-site dining, fitness center, spa, and room service. Okay. Absolutely amazing. Now, I can say that as of right now, the on-site dining in one of the bars is currently being renovated. Now, they are scheduled to end renovations at the end of May, beginning of June, but we all know how that happens. You know, it could be extended. So if there is still renovations going on, you heard it here first. But again, there are plenty of dining options within walking distance and next door at the mall. Okay. So this is where we're staying in the room at the bottom. They're all ocean view. So everyone's going to have an amazing ocean view room. It is a very spacious. Okay, so let's talk about our itinerary. All right, again, day 1, that's when you're going to arrive, guys. After you get checked into the hotel, we're going to have our evening meet and greet. On day 2 is when we're going to have our cultural trip to Palenque. Day 3, we're going to island hopping. Day 4 is going to be the mud volcano, and that's just a half a day. So we'll typically get back around 1 or 2, and we'll discuss that a little bit more in a second. And then that evening, we'll go to a cocktail making class. And then on day 5, if you don't extend your stay, you'll be heading back to the States. Okay. Now, again, if anything is subject to change as far as the itinerary, I'll definitely let you know. So let's talk about your day 1 when you arrive. My recommendation is that everyone take an early flight. Okay. Why do I say this? When you take the earliest flight out, that means you don't have to worry about different layovers. You don't have to worry about if your flight gets delayed or something and missing a connecting flight. Once you take that earliest flight out, you'll be able to get there a lot sooner. Even though check-in time isn't until 3 p.m., this particular property does a very good job of trying to make sure that your room is ready upon arrival. So you're going to arrive at the Rafael Nunez International Airport. That airport code is CTG. I hope you guys are taking notes because we're going to have a pop quiz. And local transportation company will be there waiting for you with a sign. All right. So you'll know exactly where to go. And it'll be right outside of baggage claims. Now, this particular airport, it'll take you anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour to get through customs. So if you haven't had breakfast, please make sure you have breakfast and some snacks in your bag because it may take you a minute depending on what time your flight arrives. And again, if you are arriving earlier, then you can alleviate all of the flights that are going to be arriving around the same time during that midday time because a lot of them arrive during the same time during midday. Okay. So the next evening, after you've got all settled into your room, we are going to meet and we're going to get to know one another. You know, you're going to get to know me. You're going to get to know your fellow travelers. And then during this time, I'll go over the schedule, update you with any changes that may have happened, if any at all. We'll go over any travel housekeeping tips or rules, and then provide you with any updates and just we'll go from there and we'll kind of have a few drinks together, okay? So then day 2, this is when we're going to Palenque, all right? So we're gonna meet up in the lobby around 8:30 in the morning, tentatively. Now, Palenque is where we're going to learn about the Afro-Colombian culture, all right? This is the first freed slave town in the Americas, meaning that this was the first town established by runaway slaves in all of the Americas. All right, so we're going to get to learn their history, how that happened during colonialism, and then you'll also learn how they are living currently in this modern day world because they have preserved so much of their history and so much of their way of life. as we go through the slides, you'll see they still have a lot of dirt roads. All right. But in addition to that, you know, they are known for their rich African roots. So not only will we get to know about their history, we're going to immerse ourselves in their culture, the music, dance, and everything. It's absolutely amazing. This day will typically finish around 3, 4 o'clock. We'll have lunch included in this, and your options will be chicken, shrimp, or fish. And if you have any other food restrictions, just let me know. We'll make sure we get you taken care of. But guys, let's go ahead and have a little glimpse of what I'm talking about when I say we're gonna immerse ourselves and learn a little bit more about their music and African roots and culture. Okay.
Are you there?
Yes.
Hey, this is Leonard. I need to have a room no higher than the fourth floor.
Hold on, Leonard. I can't hear the music.
I need to have a room no higher than the fourth floor.
Okay. So, Leonard, I did hear you. I responded to your email as well. As far as the rooms are concerned, there'll be the first several floors house the restaurant, the meeting rooms, the meeting spaces, and the bars. So I believe the lowest level room may be on the seventh-ish floor. I would have to check with the property, but those first several floors are for the different meeting spaces and restaurants. But again, I responded back to your email, and once I hear exactly back from the resort, excuse me, from the hotel, I can give you exactly what the lowest category ocean view room is on that floor. Okay. All right, guys. So now we're in day 3, island hopping. All right. So we're going to visit 3 islands. We're going to go to the Rosario Islands. We're going to go to Colón. Colón is that party island. And then we're going to go to the island of Baru. Baru is where we're going to have lunch. Now, guys, this is an actual picture of what the waters look like. And I believe this picture was taken in the island of Baru. So this is something to look forward to. Beautiful beaches, beautiful water, absolutely amazing. So let's talk about it. You'll even have an opportunity to purchase any motorized water activities. So this is a group of the ladies who went ahead and had some motorized activities. Also, while you're out there you may see some fishermen who are um, fishing for different lobsters or different types of fish, and they will be more than happy, or I think they did for ceviche too, fresh ceviche. And they'll come up to us and they'll offer you that as well. So we even had a massage on the beach. That was top tier. All right, so you'll have an opportunity to do all of those things. Again, you'll enjoy the beautiful water. And also on this particular tour too, we will have lunch. Again, the options will be chicken, shrimp, or fish. And on this day, we'll get back tentatively between 3 and 4 p.m. All right, day 4, guys. Day 4 is when we go to the mud volcano. This is an inactive, or I guess active volcano, but it's one of the smallest volcanoes in the whole country of Colombia. All right, it's a short distance right outside of Cartagena, so we'll take a little short drive. And then you want to make sure that you're going to wear a bathing suit that you don't mind getting a little bit muddy. All right, even though it's going to wash off, you just want to make sure there are no mud stains on your swimwear. Okay. Because when we get to the top, this is what it's going to look like. But this is what we hear is that allegedly, all right, it's known for detoxifying the body, cleansing the skin, and also treating joint inflammation. Now, again, that's the rumor, guys. But after we finish playing in the mud, we'll go to a nearby lagoon to get washed off. we'll either wash off by ourselves or you'll have some people who are out there who will be able to help you wash the mud off. They said if you can't get it off your back or something, you can't see, there are people there. Mostly people who are like aunties and grandmothers who are literally going to come behind you and scrub you like you're a little child to help get the mud off. Now, it's not that hard to get off, but they're there to help make sure it's completely removed. Also on this tour, we will have lunch included before we head back to the hotel. Like I said, this is going to be a half-day tour, so we'll get back to the hotel tentatively maybe around 1 or 2 o'clock, tentatively. Okay. And then on the way back, we're going to take a picture at this iconic Cartagena sign. So everyone will have an opportunity to take a picture in front of the sign before we head back to the hotel. And this particular sign isn't too far from the hotel either. So we'll go ahead and be able to do that. And this is what the sign looks like when people are not standing in front of it. All right. So once we get back to the hotel, because we'll be getting back so early, you'll have some free time. So what can you do with that free time? You can go to the mall and go shopping. You can go into the wall city. You can go to Yosemite, and this is where Yosemite is where all of the beautiful graffiti and artwork is, even though there is beautiful graffiti all over the city. This is one of the places where they sell the different artwork in Yosemite. Or you can just hang out at the hotel and enjoy yourself at the infinity pool and have a drink or two. However you want to do it, you'll have time to do so. You have time to relax, you have time to go out and shop, or even go into the city and just explore on your own. Now, later on that evening, that's when we're going to make some cocktails. One more thing before you leave. This will be our last event together, and we will, again, just make some cocktails. So let's talk about this cocktail class that we'll be at, okay? All right, so we're going to head into the Wall City for this cocktail class. We're going to make signature drinks using Colombian fruits. All right, 5 signature drinks, 2 hours, maybe a few shots in between. It depends. We want to make sure you're fed prior to that. But while we're making cocktails, in between the cocktails, we're going to have appetizers like different empanadas and things of that nature. So what's going to happen is we're going to use the different Colombian fruits to make the cocktails. They'll tell us about each fruit as we're preparing to make it. And I believe, again, there's 5 cocktails, and we'll be able to do this within 2 hours. They will have appetizers and snacks, but I do want to make sure that everyone is well fed before we head out. Because, again, you don't have to drink all of your cocktails, but we will be drinking for a little bit. So this is what some of the classes look like. Now, this one with the mango, chef's kiss. Okay, that is probably my all-time favorite drink that we prepare. Don't ask me the name of it because I really don't remember. But the rim, it is actually pepper. I've never had a combination of pepper and mango. For whatever reason, pepper and mango go together. Don't ask me how, but they go together. This is one of my favorite Colombian signature drinks. You'll all be able to get to make it yourself and try it. Again, as you can see, we had a few appetizers there. So that's a picture of one of the appetizers. But we'll have an appetizer in between each cocktail that we make. Okay? So pop quiz time. All right? So you can either unmute yourself or answer the question in the chat. And I'm talking about YouTube, Facebook. All right? So how many islands will we be visiting? Who remembers?
4.
Ah, close. Close. We'll be visiting 3 islands. All right? We're going to be going to the Rosario Islands, Colón, and the island of Baru. All right? So let's talk about Palenque. Palenque is the first what in the Americas? I almost gave that away. Fill in the blank.
First free cities for blacks.
First, okay, literally, I see somebody's paying attention. Palenque is the first freed city and for enslaved, the first freed city in the Americas for enslaved African Americans. Well, I guess not African Americans, but Americans. Okay, last one. How many signature cocktails will we make? This should be easy. I just said it. All right, let me go to Facebook. Let me see if y'all are paying attention too. All right, that's right. Five. We're going to make 5 signature cocktails. Okay. So you're probably wondering, okay, now that you told us the itinerary, we're interested in what's going on. How much is it? Fair question. All right, the cost per person for double occupancy. That means there are 2 people in the room, whether you have a king size bed or a double bed. With 2 people in the room, per person will be 2,900, excuse me, $2,091.92 per person. All right, now if you're doing single occupancy, you don't have anyone to split the cost with. So if you're doing single occupancy, that's just one person in the room. You'll have a king, more than likely, you'll have a king bed. That's $2,700.86. Excuse me, $2,786.51 per person. Okay. So again, what does all of that include? That includes your 5 days, 4 nights, your accommodations at the Hyatt Cartagena, your daily breakfast, our meet and greet, our cultural trip to Palenque, a half-day trip to the mud volcano, island hopping, swag bag, and your airport transportation. All right. All of this is included in that.
I have the single room.
Mhm.
What if I decide to bring someone at the last minute?
Just let me know. We'll update your invoice.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. All right. So, what are my clients saying? What are they saying about this trip? All right. So, Jade says, I loved every aspect of the trip to Cartagena. A Brown Planning was the professional. She kept us happily busy with a full agenda. You guys just heard. Uh, Provided a unique Afro Colombian experience. Please take your next trip with A Brown Planning. Thanks for a wonderful trip and plenty of memories to share for a lifetime. Now, Chi Chi, she says, this is my 4th trip that April has planned. It has been truly amazing. She has been very professional, detailed, organized, and at the same time knows how to plan an amazing trip. The most recent trip, I was on the fitness event in Cancun. I stayed at the TRS Pearl in Bebe. The hotels was amazing. If you want a trip planned, whether in a group or solo, April is your girl. All right. So now that you know that, what is the process? What's the registration process, April? How do I get signed up? I'll let you know. All right. So you're going to go to A Brown Planning. This is my website. All right. Once you go there, you're going to look for the Cartagena, Colombia flyer. All right. Once you see that, you're going to click on it. You're going to scroll down and you're going to select your package. All right. So again, we just talked about this. It is everybody is going to have an ocean view room, either your double occupancy or your single occupancy. So let's talk about this double occupancy because it can be a little bit confusing. All right. So the double occupancy, in order for you to do it, you're going to have to select the number of travelers. So go ahead and select double occupancy. And then you're going to select the number of travelers. And this is where it gets tricky. Now, if you want to have your own invoice, you're going to select the number 1. So you're just going to, because that means you're going to be paying just for yourself. All right. So when you select number 1, if you look off to the right, you're going to see that it is the price point for 1 traveler. Okay. And you're going to have your deposit. It'll be, the price point will be just for 1 traveler. Now, if you are traveling, let's say husband and wife, girlfriend and boyfriend, or, however you want to do it, and you want to select 2 travelers because there's going to be, you want everything on 1 invoice, Then what you're going to do is you're going to select 2 travelers instead. Now, what you can see here on the right side is now calculated the total cost, total package price for 2 travelers, and it'll be on 1 invoice. All right. So that just means 1 credit card instead of 2 credit cards. All right. So that's what that's going to be on there. That's what that will look like. Okay. Once you put that in, once you select that, the next thing is you're going to input your traveler information. Simple stuff. You make sure all of this, but here's the thing. You want to make sure it is as listed how it is on your passport. Because when you check into the hotel, they're going to ask you for your passport. So your information that you provide to me needs to be the same information, your full name, as it is listed on your passport. That's very important. And then you'll provide the rest of the details that we need to move forward as well. All right. So talk about your payment options. All right. So we take credit cards, and you'll have a payment. You'll have 2 payment options. Excuse me. I apologize. Excuse me. You will have option for your payment plans, right? So either you can pay your deposit and then make payments. As you can see here, it will list out what your schedule will be. So if you pay on, let's say, the 4th, that means all your future payments will be on the 4th. If you need that to be changed, then just reach out to me, and then I'll be more than happy to change it. All right. As you can see here, the final payment date is May the 4th. But you're like, April, what if I don't want to pay, make manual payments? That's fine. Go ahead and click this button, and then you can turn on auto pay. Go ahead and just pay your deposit, slip it on, put it on auto pay. And if it's on your credit card, then it'll automatically take it out of your card every single month. So you don't have to worry about it. And you don't have to worry about getting late fees either. All right. But if you want to pay in full, you have that option as well. So those are your options. You can either pay in full, you can have a manual monthly payment plan when you pay your deposit, and then you pay manually every month, or you can just turn on the auto pay, and then whatever credit card that you put in, or whatever card that you put in, it'll take it out monthly. Okay. Once you do that, you will get an invoice. You'll get a receipt, and it'll say, thank you for your payment. It'll tell you exactly what you purchased. It'll tell you what your balance is based on how much you put down. And again, on your bank statement, it's going to say TJ A. Brown Planning. So that's how you know you've made your payment. That's how it'll show up on your bank statement. But this is the invoice that you'll get directly from your email. All right. Once you do this, the following morning, or it should be either that evening or the very next morning, you will get a welcome email. And it's going to say, hey, we're going back to Cartagena, Colombia. Now that you're here, it's officially a party. So make sure that you're looking in your email. Make sure we don't go to your spam folder or your promotions folder if you have a Gmail account, and save us as a safe contact. Once you save us as a safe contact, it'll ensure that you will not miss any future communications, because you don't want to do that, because that's going to be our primary source of communication, especially as we get closer to the trip. We're going to be providing all types of information, and we want to make sure you don't miss anything. Okay. All right. So now here are some commonly asked questions that everyone really wants to know. All right. So it's going to be, what is your refund policy? What are the entry requirements to get into Colombia? When is the final payment date? What is the amount of the deposit? If I need to change my reservation status, how do I do that? And that's what Leonard just asked a second ago. If my roommate cancels, then what? Is the flight included? Okay, guys, so let's just go over all of these right now. Oh, and what airport should I fly into? Okay, so again, let's talk about the refund policy. And I'm going to go ahead and say this verbatim just so I can make sure I don't miss anything and no one misunderstands me. All right, all payments made to A. Brown Planning, Travel Services LLC, are non-refundable and non-transferable. Why is this the case? This is because we have contractual agreements with various vendors to make this thing happen that will not allow us to obtain any refunds. So that is why we do that. And also this helps keep our prices competitive and allows for you to make monthly payments on your trip. All right. So that is that. Entry requirements. You must have a valid passport. Make sure that your passport does not expire within 6 months of your travel date. So if we're going in June, at the end of June, you want to make sure that your passport does not just expire in December. Why? Because they may not let you out the plane, off the plane or onto their land, right? I believe that is a requirement for entry requirement for US citizens coming back into the United States. So if you're leaving, let's say Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson International Airport, they might not actually allow you to leave because your passport is getting ready to expire. Now, what we don't want to happen is that you get in country and you can't get on your flight to the US. Either or, we don't want that for you. So make sure that you go ahead and check to see that your passport does not expire anytime soon. Another thing is, again, I will be able to send out all of this information as we get closer to our trip, but you must complete an online check mag form. Basically, what that is an online immigration form, right? You'll do this 72 hours before you board to Colombia and before you depart to Colombia. So make sure you go ahead and do this and ask a lot of simple questions. But this is what it looks like. When you go to the website, it's very simple. It'll take less than 5 minutes. And again, I'll provide all of the information in screenshots, but this is the check mag. Like I said, it is an online immigration form that you'll need to complete 72 hours prior to arriving in Colombia, and then 72 hours prior to departing. So what if it's not 72 hours? You have up to 72 hours. What I don't want you to do is wait until that final hour before you're boarding to do this. We don't want to do that. So if you can do it at least 24 hours in advance, even when we're in country, we'll go ahead and do that. But again, I will send reminders to make sure, say, hey guys, it's now 72 hours. Go ahead and complete your check mag form. So don't worry, I got you. All right, so when is the final payment due? Saturday, May 4th. That is when the final payment is due. All right. If you need an extension or you're trying to request an extension, a late fee will be assessed $100 per person for any payments received after final payment day, guys. We don't want you to have any cancellations. We don't want any issues with our vendors. So we want to make sure that you have everything paid before or on the final payment date, which is Saturday, May the 4th. Okay? So what is the amount of the deposit? The deposit is $150. And it's very important that everyone goes ahead and secures your spot so I can make sure that we have the right size everything, the right size boat, the right size meeting room for us, all of those things. We want to make sure that we get everything secure because we may end up limiting the amount of people that come on this trip, guys. So as long as your reservation is secure, you go ahead and pay that deposit. We got you. We got you a spot. Okay. All right. I need to change my reservation. What do I do? Again, you may make changes to your reservations until May the 1st without a fee. Anytime after May 1st, a fee will be assessed. Any room changes or occupancy changes from single to double or double to single, you have until May 1st. So if you're right now, if you're signed up as a single person, but you're going to add somebody, you have until May 1st to go ahead and get them added. Or if you want to book any additional days, say you want to arrive early, you want to arrive on the 18th, or let's say you want to stay 2 days later. You don't want to leave on Sunday. You want to leave on Tuesday. And typically, a lot of people end up staying, a couple days after the trip. They arrive with everybody else and then they stay a couple days after the trip. So if you need additional days to stay, just let me know before May 1st so we can make those accommodations, so we can make sure we get that taken care of for you and get your invoice updated. All right. My roommate canceled. What do you do? All right. So if your roommate cancels, you are responsible for getting a new roommate. All right. If you cannot get a new roommate, you are responsible for the price difference to change your room from double to single. So whatever that may be, you want to make sure that you're able, that you are doing, that you're able to do that. So either you find a new roommate or you change from double to single. Okay. And then, is the flight included? The flight is not included. Everyone is responsible for purchasing their own flight because everyone is coming from different places. Whether you're coming from Texas, whether you're coming from Georgia, whether you're coming from, I think I spoke to somebody yesterday from Maryland, everyone's coming from different places. So everyone is responsible for their own flights. In addition to that, you may have different flight preferences, whether it's American Airlines, whether it's Delta, whether it's Spirit, whether it's United. That choice will be completely up to you. So you can use your rewards points or your Sky Miles exactly how you see fit. So that's going to just make sure that you are flying into the Rafael Nunez International Airport. And that code again is CTG. All right. So even if you don't remember the name, you're going to look for CTG. Okay. And again, once you get all signed up, I'll put this in an email as well. So, number one, pop quiz. We're going to have another pop quiz. I got to make sure that y'all are paying attention. All right. You guys in Facebook land, you guys here on the Zoom, what is the refund policy? Give y'all a moment or two. That's right. I appreciate you, Facebook, for paying attention. There are no refunds and no it's non-refundable, non-transferable. Okay. So this is one that hopefully everyone remembers. What are the payment options? Remember, guys, we gave you guys a few payment options. So what is that?
You can pay monthly or pay all.
Absolutely. You guys hear that on Facebook too? You can pay monthly or you can pay it all together. So either when you're paying monthly, you can have it manually, or you can do auto pay, or you can just make the full payment. Now, this is a real easy one that I'm going to go ahead and answer for you guys. When is the final payment due date? I'm going to go ahead and answer for y'all. It is Saturday, May the 4th. Okay? Saturday, May 4th. Now, this one's the hard one. What is the name of the CTG airport? Come on, Facebook. I know y'all got this. What is the name of the CTG airport? Orlando's gonna outshine y'all. All right, that's right. That is the Rafael Nunez International Airport. I'm so glad y'all be paying attention. That makes me feel good. All right, so this is where, if you have any additional questions about this Cartagena, Colombia trip, this is where you get your questions answered. Okay? So if you have any questions that I have not already addressed, this is your time to answer it now. Okay? So I'm looking at, yes, sir.
Hey, April, I would like to go to Nigeria with a group if you also may think of that, or Cameroon or Liberia, Africa.
Okay. Well, Leonard, you go ahead and stay on and we'll chat about that, okay? So after the call, you stay on and we'll chat about that. So, okay, I'm looking at the Facebook too. Do y'all have any additional questions? I know it takes a long time to type, but I want to make sure that I'm not missing anybody. I want to make sure that I'm getting all of your questions answered. And for those of you who are on the Facebook Live, if you're coming back late, make sure that when you watch this, when you watch the replay, go ahead and put replay, hashtag replay, so I know that you watched it, okay? Go ahead and put hashtag replay. And if you have hashtag replay and you have a question, Don't worry, I will go back and make sure I answer all of your questions. Okay? So just make sure you go ahead and put it in the chat. So even if you watch it later on tonight, you watch the replay later on tonight, you have a question, I will get back to you. Don't worry about it. All right. So listen, I hope this webinar has given you a glimpse of the incredible experiences that we're going to have in Cartagena. And hopefully you have seen, based on what some of my clients have said, the level of trust that we're known for and how we are curating these stress-free, but also enriching getaways for you, all right? So if you're ready to embark on this adventure with us, simply click the link, and I'll go ahead and put it in the link on Facebook in a hot second. Go ahead and click the link, and we are ready to help you. We are ready to help you get booked. We love to have you join us in our community of travelers who value exceptional experiences. Remember, we do the planning so you don't have to. We just want you to show up and having a good time, all right? So this will be your next amazing adventure. So let's just make it happen together. All right. So we hope to see you soon. Now, here's one thing, guys. For the people who are on this